Takuma is a lonely gamer who plays an MMORPG game as Diablo, the true demon lord. He is accidentally summoned into an alternate world as his MMO character, and his summoners are an elf girl and a cat girl, and they kiss him on his cheeks. They are arguing about who summoned him, but Diablo realizes that he is in the middle of his MMORPG game, Cross Reverie. He commands the girls in his demonic voice to shake each other's hands, and they obey him. He puts a chain around their neck, and now they are officially his slaves. They walk together away from the tower and the girls are disappointed that the ritual has failed. Diablo realizes that it is because of his demon lord ring, which allowed him to reflect their enslavement spell onto them instead. They head into town to see if they can have the magical powers dispelled. On their way, the elf girl introduces herself along with the cat girl to Diablo. She is Shira L. Greenwood, and the cat girl is Rem Galu. They call Diablo a rare summoned creature, but Diablo instead calls himself a demon lord. This impresses Shira because she somehow managed to summon a demon lord. They check in at the inn where they're greeted by the innkeeper. They argue about who will be sharing the room with Diablo as they can't afford 3 rooms. They continue fighting, but the innkeeper instead forces them all to stay in the same room with him on a single bed. A woman called Seals enters the room and Diablo recognizes her as the head of the Mages Association. She sees the slave collars on the 2 girls and is confused about how this occurred. They explain to her how they failed to summon Diablo, and how they are stuck with these collars. Diablo demands to know what her business is, and a man comes in attempting to act like a knight in shining armor. Diablo, however, puts fear into his bones, and the man walks away like a coward. Seals leaves and Diablo asks Rem about her relationship with Seals. Rem refuses to tell him anything, but Diablo realizes this could be a story event that could turn into a disaster later on. So he takes her back into his room to torture her. Diablo tortures her by tickling her cat ears and grabbing her tail, which eventually breaks Rem's handle. He makes sure she is okay before going on to learn about the secret she's hiding. She reveals that she has the demon lord Krebscomb sealed within her body. And Diablo recalls that this demon lord was the strongest boss in the game. She tells him that she only wishes to release and get rid of this demon lord from her body, as it has caused her great sadness and loneliness. Diablo tells her that he thinks this will kill Rem and learns that this is the real reason she knows Seals. Rather than abandoning her, Diablo promises that he will help Rem, and that he will never leave her side. This makes Rem emotional, and she thinks she can finally trust someone. Diablo goes on a walk around town, reflecting about this entire day as he is used to being a lonely person. He is approached by the same guy that was following Seals, and he is ready to fight him. He uses his power to summon a giant red salamander that is level 30. This is a fearsome boss that could destroy the city. However, Diablo realizes that it is way beneath his level, and that it won't pose a single problem. It does absolutely nothing once again as he is level 150. He takes out his wand and casts a single explosion that destroys the salamander in its place. The mage demands to know who Diablo is, and he states that he is the true demon lord from another world. They head to the Adventurers Guild to determine their level and to be able to go on quests. They go to sign a contract, and Shira tells him that she needs his blood stamp to finish the approval. He manages to bleed everywhere somehow. Shira faces a mirror to determine her level, and she finds out that she is only level 30, which disappoints her. Diablo goes next and the mirror begins overflowing with energy and causing chaos to ensue. The guild master appears and invites them to her office. She tells them that she has never encountered this before and will likely be unable to offer any quests for Diablo that will suit him. Diablo, however, will still join as he only cares about obtaining rewards so he can continue living with the girls. The guild master decides to assign them to kill a giant snake hidden in the woods. On their way there, they are surrounded by a group of elves, and Diablo casts Burst Rain to set the woods on fire and lure out the people ambushing them. The elves are here to take Shira away with them, but Shira refuses to go back with them as she doesn't want to marry her brother and bear his child. They all aim their bows at Diablo, but they are ineffective. Their leader appears and readies a magical blow, however, it still doesn't do anything to Diablo. Diablo gets angry, so he casts Freesia, and freezes the entire field into ice. Seals' follower appears again, but is beaten down by Diablo, and REM Shira tells the elves that she will never come home, and that they should leave her alone. Diablo is back in the guild master's office, and she assigns them a special request that was made specifically for Diablo. The person who made this request was Seals, and they think she may be the reason behind the recent attacks. Rem states that she doesn't want to accept it as she cares for Seals, and doesn't think she's a bad person. Diablo tells her that she doesn't have to oppose her, and that he will never make her do something she doesn't want to do. Rem agrees that she will stay behind. As they are leaving the guild, a true knight in shining armor appears, Emil, who confronts Diablo. He is not only a level 50 warrior, but he is also the ally of women. He is here to save the day from the demon lord that has enslaved Rem and Shira. They attempt to explain it as a misunderstanding, but Diablo is too excited. Emil uses sword smite against Diablo, but he parries the blow with his wand. Emil attempts to use another sword skill called Alp's Fall, but is knocked out before he could unleash his skills. Emil, however, attempts to attack Diablo again, but Shira and Rem stop him and explain the situation. Emil apologizes for his behavior, and that he will become friends with them. They reach the bridge and are informed that there is likely a large army of demons heading this way. One of the soldiers is afraid of dying, but Diablo tells him that he shall protect them. Shira realizes that they may be here to resurrect Krebscombe, and Diablo realizes they are after REM. Meanwhile, Seals tells Rem that she got rid of her insubordinate servants for his actions, and she questions her about Diablo. Rem does her best to defend Diablo, telling her how much of a kind person he truly is. The guy comes in again. Man, this guy just can't stop. He reveals a dagger and is ready to stab himself. Rem attempts to stop him but is too late, and he transforms into a giant beast. At the same time, demons approach the castle. A giant goblin approaches Diablo, but Diablo just punches him away. The leader of the demons, Edelgard, appears and the two fight. Rem and Seals run outside of the inn to escape. However, they are unable to get away from the beast. Rem summons her own monster, but it gets destroyed quickly. As their last hope, Emil comes landing in and attempts to fight the goblin. He is weak against it, but he continues to fight and doesn't give up as he is the defender of all women. Diablo continues to fight against Edelgard and attempts to show him that his powers are useless against him. Edelgard uses sacrifice charge against Diablo, but it is useless against him. Diablo realizes that he could use this to his advantage by demoralizing the enemy. However, this is the first time Diablo has received any damage. He casts a grand magic spell and warns Edelgard to go away or he will destroy the entire field. However, she naively rejects his offer, and Diablo casts his white nova. The entire field gets eviscerated. The demon army disappears, but Edelgard has somehow managed to survive. Diablo realizes that Rem is likely in danger, so he casts return to teleport back to town. Emil is defeated and is about to die, but Diablo comes in to save the day and sends Gregor flying backwards. He thanks Emil for his hard work and assures him that he will protect everyone. Gregory launches a dark bullet, but the spell is instantly reflected against him using Diablo's ring. So he casts Dark Press, but it is again reflected onto him, and Diablo makes it even stronger. He tells him that he will show him no mercy as he has killed many people on this field. He casts a black hole which sucks up the goblin into a void. Rem runs to grab Diablo and thanks him. Diablo states that he will always protect his slave as it is his property. Seals realizes that there may actually be a good demon lord after all. The guild master tells him that they must hand Shira over to the elves, or there will be a war. The lord of the city asks that Diablo prevents this war from occurring. Shira is shocked that this is actually going to happen, and asks Diablo if he'll accept the quest of preventing the war from happening. Diablo wants to refuse this quest due to the fact that it involves a war being waged. However, the guild master reveals that Shira's brother has put a huge bounty on her head, and this makes Diablo livid. He tells her that he will accept the quest and meet with the lord of the city. They enter the lord's manor and are told all the information the guild master has about the lord. When they arrive, they are introduced to the lord, and he happens to be a very cold and vicious man. The guild master introduces the party to the leader of the city, and they also decide to introduce themselves. The leader of the city introduces himself, and Diablo is nervous as he has no idea how he should best introduce himself. He struggles to find the balance between keeping his demon lord act up or a humble person act. The leader of the city tells him that he has heard Diablo is a demon lord from another world, and Diablo replies, "Should I reduce you to ashes to prove it?" What a Chad. All the girls are scared, but the leader of the city ignores it as a funny remark. He tells them about the possible war that will ensue using the map, and tells them that this could be avoided by handing Shira over. He asks Shira why she doesn't want the life of luxury that she could be given, and she tells him that she wishes to find her own worth alone, and that she could never find that anywhere else. Diablo states that being free is a difficult thing to achieve, however, it is one of the most worthy goals that should be strived towards. Once the leader understands, he introduces them to a woman called Alicia Christella. She is the strongest imperial knight they have, and she will be assisting them. Alicia tells him that she has immense respect towards him for protecting the people from the goblins. Diablo is flustered by this, but realizes that he should avoid talking with her before she reveals his act. He demands that she never speaks frivolously with him again, and Alicia promises that she will obey him. They head towards a weaponsmith and Diablo wants to get a weapon that will allow him to better deal with opponents. He purchases a scythe, and Rem tells him that it's so big and long. Giggity. As they are walking away to buy potions, they are ambushed and bounty hunters kidnap Shira. More of them attempt to ambush him, but Rem and Alicia take care of them. Diablo runs in super speed to catch up to the opponents, and Alicia and Emil appear to corner them and destroy them. Emil learns about the bounty hunt that has been placed on Shira, and they ask him what he will do about it. Emil, as always, chants that he will be the protector of all women, and that he will defend Shira. He leaves, and Alicia apologizes for letting this happen and pledges that she will not allow this to happen again. Diablo tells her that she shouldn't be so hard on herself, and tells her that she should instead be more self-compassionate. She has no idea how to take advice. Alicia is hungry, and they go to a cafe. At the cafe, Seals visits them and tells them that she's found a way for Diablo to take off the slave collars off Rem and Shura. She leads them to a cavern where there is a slave merchant inside. The owner greets the group and thinks Diablo is attempting to sell his slaves. Diablo yells at her for being wrong, but she notices that there is an immense amount of energy flowing from his body. Shura also says that she can see Diablo's body, which shocks Rem and Alicia. The slave owner also sees the enormous amount of energy coming from Rem, and asks her if she is pregnant with a demon. Diablo interrupts her and Rem asks if Shura has been able to see her magical ability this entire time. Shura explains that she has, which is why she picked her to be her adventure partner. Rem says she's glad Shura is such an idiot, and leaves. Diablo demands that they learn how to remove the collars. The slave master tells Diablo that he needs to remove the slave collar through magical flow and physical contact. Diablo finds a thread and attempts to follow it deeply within. At night, Diablo reveals that he was unable to finish the ritual because the magical knots were extremely hard to follow, and he was unable to untie them. Diablo hears the sound of a flute coming from outside and a young male elf is standing outside. The elf introduces himself as Shura's brother. Diablo is extremely angry and yells at him for putting a bounty on his sister's head. He tells him that he will never hand Shura over to him. But her brother simply states that he was happy to see his sister is in good health. He apologizes for the bounty, but Shura isn't convinced by his acts. Her brother proceeds to ask if Shura wants to come with him or stay with Diablo, and she states that she wants to stay with Diablo. He states that he will be polite and leave, but he will be again tomorrow to ask again politely. If Shura still doesn't want to come with him, he will simply never come back or bother them again. Diablo thinks there's no way Shura would ever think that. In the elf territory, Shura's brother sits on top of a tree, where he plays his flute. He states that he will have Shura be his again, and that she will bear his child. Rem and Alicia leave to report about their encounter, and Diablo starts to create a potion to make sure he is prepared for what will come. As he talks with Shura, he hears the flute playing again in the distance, and Shura's mind appears to leave her body. She tells him that she will no longer stay with him, and that she will be leaving home. Shura leaves on a carriage with her brother, but Diablo doesn't ask her. Instead, he goes and lays in his bed, extremely sad about what just happened. What will happen to Shura, who is brainwashed? And what will happen to Rem, who has the strongest demon lord inside her?
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.